A lot of effort to get one date. Bumble app makes women's first move easier. In the end, it was the data that killed me, says Penny about her decision to leave the dating app Bumble. If she opened the app, she might receive 100 likes, 25% of which she might be interested in. She would look at their profiles and write an individualized message. A few would respond, perhaps one would result in a date. That's a lot of effort to get one date, she says. It's exhausting. Bumble, billed as the feminist Tinder when it launched in 2014, this week announced it was taking action to relieve the administrative burden on its female users. It has given them the option of firing off a short pre-written question to potential dates rather than a carefully crafted missive after 70% of its female users said that they were becoming burned out. While it is not ditching the requirement for women to make the first move, its female users can now send a template question such as, what book or film changed the way you think, using the site's opening moves feature. What do you think about this?
So I'm supportive of it, but I don't find it surprising. This really maps to the dynamics, male-female approach dynamics that we see in person, which is that the responsibility is on the man to approach and start the conversation with a woman. It's not generally the woman who is the one needing to approach or start the conversation. But what I would say is this woman who says she was writing carefully crafted messages is in the minority. As someone who has looked at thousands of Bumble conversations, women generally send zero effort, one-word responses like, hi, and then the onus would still fall on the man to then come up with a creative or interesting conversation and steer that towards a date. So I feel like previously, okay, women were starting the conversation, but in name only.
I think there's a good bit of pushback from guys about this, and I can understand why, that basically they now feel like, hang on, women, you said that you wanted an app that allowed you to make the first move, which is what we've had to do for all of human history. And then being given that preference, privilege, request, whatever it is that you wanted, you're now saying that, oh, it's too arduous, even though you can copy and paste a message, you can use keyboard shortcuts on iPhone to make it easier to do. And it's now been made even more easy so that there's pre-written template questions that you can just press a button to send to me, which means it is first move in name only.
Yeah.
And I think it probably feels, many guys that are dating will feel indignant, where it's like, this is what it's like for me all the time, not just on this one app.
Yeah. And unfortunately, that's just the reality of dating. The man is expected to be the pursuer. And you can either, not to say you were complaining about that, but complain about that, or you can learn how to approach and appropriately attract women. And you can trace that back to evolutionary biology. The man is, across most species, the male is the pursuer. Sperm are much more abundant than eggs. Eggs are the scarcer resource. Women become the chooser up front.
There's some interesting species where the reverse is the case. There's some birds, I think in some spiders, It's the same too. And the male is the choosier one, quite rightly, that the burden sort of switches, and men are the ones that get to choose, or the males are the ones that get to choose. But yeah, I think, guys being the protagonists and women being the gatekeepers or the receivers in whatever way, anybody that is, like, people realize this. What are you hearing, or what is it that women say about their desire to initiate versus their desire to be pursued? What have you learned there?
So women want to be approached more and pursued more, at least for what I see in my personal experience, in my relationships with women and what I hear. And then I also conducted some informal survey data of 13,000 women in the US and the UK. 97% said they would rather meet their partner in person than online. And 95% said they wish they were approached more often by men in real life. 95% of anything is crazy. I'm not sure 95% of people would agree the sky is blue if you asked them. And women are saying in hordes, basically, like, hey, I want to meet a guy offline, and I want guys to approach me. And, I hear guys saying, well, women are rude when I approach them, or it doesn't work out. And the reality is it's a numbers game. Like, there are some women who don't want to be approached, and there are even more women who already have a partner or aren't interested in men or don't like you for whatever reason that you can't control, but that is out of your control. If you learn to approach appropriately, you're not going to be pepper sprayed or arrested or have some terrible thing happen if you talk to a woman in real life.
Yeah, your sample was 13,000 single women
in
the US and the UK. I'm not sure what the age cohort was, but let's say that 50% of women are in a relationship, 50% are single. That actually turns 95% into 47.5%.
Yeah.
So for the guys that say, I've tried to approach women, what's the likelihood that each time I do it, it's one of the 5%? It's like, yeah, but you don't know, unless they've got a green badge that says, yes, I'm single, you're not actually pre-selecting.
Exactly. So you just have to approach more often. And I get it. It's hard. It can be anxiety inducing. You're oftentimes facing rejection. And that is just what has been happening for all of human history. And I think we have become complicit with expecting things to be delivered to us. You can press a button on your phone and have any meal you want delivered to your door. All of your groceries come to your door. Anything you want to watch, you can press a button and watch that at that time. And I'm not anti-technology, but technology has made people lazy and expect to always get what they want when they want it. And dating and mating is not that way.
In other news, this episode is brought to you by Element. Stop having coffee first thing in the morning. Your adenosine system that caffeine acts on isn't even active for the first 90 minutes of the day, but your adrenal system is, and salt acts on your adrenal system. Element contains a science-backed electrolyte ratio of sodium, potassium, and magnesium with no junk, no coloring, no artificial ingredients, or any other BS. I keep talking about them because they are fantastic. It's how I start my morning every single day and have done for over 3 years now, and I love it. It tastes amazing. There's no junk or sugar or colors or artificial ingredients, and there is a no BS, no questions asked refund policy, so you can buy it completely risk-free. Try it all, and if you do not like it, they will give you your money back, and you don't even need to return the box. That's how confident they are that you'll love it. Right now, you can get a free sample pack of all 8 flavors with your first box by going to the link in the show notes below or heading to drinklmnt.com/modernwisdom. That's drinklmnt.com/modernwisdom. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you enjoyed that clip, you will love the full-length podcast in all its glory, which is available right here. Go on. Press it.